Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that every person you admire, every success story you've ever heard, was built on pain, struggle, and moments so hard they wanted to quit? What if the very thing you're running from, failure, rejection, disappointment, is actually the secret weapon that will shape your greatness? Tonight I'm going to show you why the road to success isn't paved with comfort, but with suffering, and why embracing it will make you unstoppable. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment the people you admire most, those who have achieved greatness, who have shaped industries, changed communities, or simply inspired millions. What they all have in common is not just talent or opportunity, it is suffering. It is the long nights, the failures, the rejections, the moments when giving up seemed easier than continuing. You see, success is not a straight line, and it is never free. It is earned in the spaces where most people refuse to go, in the discomfort that challenges you to grow, in the struggles that refine your character. We live in a culture that glorifies instant results, that promises shortcuts and easy wins, but real success, the kind that lasts and transforms, is forged in adversity. When you suffer, when you face obstacles, when doors close in your face, you are doing more than enduring pain. You are learning lessons that no book, no lecture, no mentor can teach. You are discovering resilience. You are developing patience. You are understanding that the world does not owe you anything, and that your growth is entirely dependent on what you are willing to endure. Suffering is not a punishment. It is a signal. It is the universe telling you that you are on the edge of something meaningful. Every challenge you face, every setback, every heartache is preparing you for the responsibility, the knowledge, and the capability you will need when your moment comes. The people who succeed are not those who avoid failure. They are those who embrace it, who step into the fire and let it shape them. They understand that comfort is the enemy of growth, and without discomfort, without challenge, without suffering, there is no evolution of self. Think about it this way. When you lift weights, the muscle fibers tear, and the soreness you feel afterward is a signal of growth. Without that strain, the muscle does not strengthen. The same principle applies to life. Your mind, your courage, your determination, these grow only when they are stretched, when they are tested, when they are forced to endure more than you thought you could bear. Suffering is not a sign that you are failing. It is proof that you are growing. Proof that you are preparing for the success that others will never understand because they have never walked your path. Too often, people run from suffering. They avoid risk, shy away from challenge, and choose the comfort of familiarity. But comfort is an illusion. Life has a way of confronting us, sooner or later, with situations that demand more than we think we have. Those who succeed have already faced that reality and said yes to it. They have endured the hard conversations, the lonely nights, the rejection, the criticism, and they have come out on the other side not broken, but stronger, wiser, and more capable. Suffering, in its rawest form, teaches perspective. It teaches gratitude. It teaches the value of effort. When you have endured struggle, you no longer take your victories for granted. You understand the weight of success, and with that understanding comes humility, resilience, and vision. You become someone who does not fear failure, because you know that suffering is temporary, but the lessons it brings are permanent. So, if you want to achieve something extraordinary, if you want to build something meaningful, you must be willing to suffer. You must be willing to push through the pain, to embrace the obstacles, to keep going when others walk away. Success is not given, it is earned, and it is earned in the moments when suffering seems unbearable, yet you persist anyway. The fire of struggle is what forges greatness, and the depth of your suffering will determine the height of your success. And it is not just the big, dramatic struggles that shape you. It is the daily grind, the tiny moments of frustration, the invisible battles that no one else sees. Every early morning you wake up when the world is still asleep. Every hour you spend refining your skills. Every moment you resist the urge to quit. These are the quiet forms of suffering. They compound over time. They may seem insignificant in isolation, but together they create a foundation for something far greater than what comfort alone could ever produce. You cannot cut the process of growth. You cannot bypass the hard work, the sacrifice, and the discomfort, because these are the very things that build the strength and perspective required for lasting success. Many people confuse suffering with failure, but they are not the same. Failure is a single event, suffering is a process. Failure can happen overnight. It can be public, it can be humiliating, but suffering is endured over time, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. It is the consistent effort to improve when improvement feels impossible. It is the commitment to yourself when the world offers no applause. It is the willingness to continue walking a path that is uncertain, uneven, and often lonely. And in this process, you discover your true self, the version of you that refuses to be defined by circumstances, that refuses to be broken by setbacks, that refuses to settle for mediocrity. Consider the lessons suffering teaches that success cannot. Suffering teaches empathy because when you face your own challenges, you understand the struggles of others. It teaches courage because it forces you to confront fear, insecurity, and doubt. It teaches discipline because enduring hardship requires consistent effort even when motivation falters. And perhaps most importantly, suffering teaches purpose because when you have endured pain and emerged stronger, you understand why your work, your mission, and your vision truly matter. People who succeed without having suffered often lack depth. They may achieve fame or fortune, but they lack the wisdom, resilience, and perspective that suffering cultivates. The world will not hand you success on a silver platter. It will challenge you, it will test you, it will push you to the brink of giving up. And this is exactly why you must embrace suffering. It is a proving ground. It is a crucible that separates those who merely dream from those who actually achieve. Every moment of discomfort is a lesson in persistence. Every moment of failure is a lesson in humility. Every moment of exhaustion is a lesson in fortitude. The more you lean into it, the more you endure, the more capable you become not just at achieving your goals, but at sustaining them. You may ask, why does it have to be so hard? The answer is simple, because anything worth achieving requires you to grow into it. Success is not something you arrive at fully formed. It is something you become worthy of, and becoming worthy of success requires transformation, and transformation requires struggle. If you want to make a real impact, if you want your achievements to matter, if you want to leave a legacy, you cannot avoid the suffering along the way. It is not a detour, it is the path itself. And here's the subtle truth that most people never realize. Suffering, when embraced, is not a burden. It is a teacher, a guide, a mentor that whispers the principles of success that cannot be taught elsewhere. It teaches patience in a world obsessed with speed. It teaches resilience in a culture that fears discomfort. It teaches humility in a society that celebrates instant gratification. It teaches you that the value of what you achieve is inseparable from the trials endured to achieve it. In other words, the more you suffer, the more meaningful your success becomes. So, when you encounter obstacles, when the nights feel long and the challenges seem insurmountable, remember this: suffering is not your enemy. It is the engine that drives your growth. It is the refining fire that prepares you for the moments when everything you've worked for finally aligns. It is the invisible hand that molds your character, your resolve, and your vision. And the moment you stop fearing it, stop avoiding it, and start leaning into it, you begin to step into the kind of person who does not just succeed, but who succeeds in a way that inspires, uplifts, and endures. Every struggle you face, every hardship you endure, every moment of doubt you overcome adds to a reservoir of strength within you that no one can take away. Success without struggle is fleeting, shallow, and fragile. Success earned through suffering is deep, meaningful, and unshakable. And the reality is that the path to greatness will always demand that you pay a price in perseverance, endurance, and courage. Those who understand this, who embrace the discomfort, who continue moving forward when it feels impossible, are the ones who leave a mark that lasts far beyond their own lifetime. Every person who has achieved something remarkable understands a simple truth: the journey to success is never a straight road, and it is never easy. It is filled with moments that test your patience, your faith, and your determination. It is in those moments, when everything inside you screams to quit, that your character is truly formed. Suffering is the soil in which resilience grows. Without it, ambition is hollow, dreams remain fragile, and success, if achieved, is fleeting. The struggles you face are not random. They are deliberate, shaping you for the challenges and responsibilities that lie ahead. Think about the moments when you were tested, when you failed, when you were rejected, when doors you thought were open slammed shut. Those are not moments to resent. They are moments to embrace, because they are teaching you something invaluable. They teach you how to adapt when life refuses to cooperate. They teach you how to persevere when hope seems distant. They teach you how to innovate when the conventional path is blocked. Every hardship, every setback, every disappointment is a step forward if you choose to see it that way. Suffering also teaches clarity. When you endure hardship, the noise of the world fades and what truly matters becomes obvious. You learn to distinguish between what is essential and what is trivial. You learn to focus your energy on the things that will move you closer to your goals, and let go of distractions that weigh you down. The path of suffering strips away illusion and pretension, leaving only the raw, unshakable essence of who you are and what you are capable of. And while suffering is often painful, it is also deeply empowering. Every obstacle you overcome, every challenge you face, adds a layer of strength to your character that no comfort or ease ever could. When you look back on your journey, you will see that it was not the moments of ease that defined you. It was the moments when you refused to give up, when you pushed through pain, when you kept moving forward even though the world seemed against you. Those are the moments that create leaders, innovators, and visionaries, the people who change the course of their own lives and often the lives of others. Moreover, suffering builds empathy and connection. When you have struggled, you understand struggle in others. You see the effort, the sacrifice, the courage it takes, and you become someone who uplifts others, who leads with compassion, and who inspires action. The pain you endure becomes not only a tool for your own growth, but also a bridge to connect with others and to guide them through their own journeys. It is important to realize that suffering is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are on the right path. The road to meaningful achievement is never free of difficulty. It requires you to stretch beyond what is comfortable, to confront fear and doubt, and to keep moving forward even when the outcome is uncertain. This is the essence of courage, the willingness to continue despite the pain, the uncertainty, and the obstacles. And in those moments when you feel most tested, you must remember that suffering is temporary, but the strength, wisdom, and resilience you gain from it are permanent. The fire you endure now is forging a version of yourself that is capable of greatness, a version of yourself that can achieve more, endure more, and inspire more than you ever thought possible. So when life becomes difficult, when the challenges seem unrelenting, embrace it, lean into the struggle. See it not as punishment, but as preparation. Understand that every ounce of effort, every tear, every late night, every failure, every rejection is shaping you for the success that is waiting on the other side. The depth of your struggle determines the height of your achievement, and the more you suffer, the more profound your success will ultimately be. And here's the thing that most people fail to realize. Suffering is not just an obstacle to overcome. It is the very mechanism by which your potential is unlocked. When you face hardship, when life pushes you beyond what you thought was possible, you are being given an opportunity to grow in ways that comfort could never teach you. Every failure, every setback, every moment of doubt is a chance to discover your strength, to test your limits, and to redefine what you believe you are capable of. Success is not born from ease. It is forged in adversity, refined in struggle, and tempered by perseverance. Think about the people who have achieved extraordinary things. Their paths were not smooth. They were not free of doubt or fear. They experienced rejection, loss, and failure, sometimes repeatedly. What separated them from those who gave up was not talent alone. It was their willingness to embrace the suffering that comes with growth. They understood that pain is not the enemy, stagnation is. They accepted that discomfort is an essential part of the journey, and they leaned into it rather than running from it. This is a mindset that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Suffering teaches you patience, and patience is one of the most underrated qualities in the pursuit of success. The world wants instant gratification, quick results, and overnight wins. But real achievement that lasts requires time, endurance, and consistent effort. Suffering slows you down in the best possible way. It forces you to be methodical, deliberate, and intentional. It forces you to learn the value of perseverance, and to understand that meaningful success is not measured by speed, but by depth, impact, and sustainability. It also teaches you humility. When you endure hardship, you realize that no one achieves greatness alone. You learn the value of collaboration, mentorship, and the support of those who stand with you in your struggle. You learn to listen, to learn from others, and to adapt. Humility born from suffering allows you to grow faster, to make better decisions, and to lead more effectively. Without suffering, arrogance can easily take root, and arrogance undermines potential in ways comfort never could. Suffering also sharpens focus. When life tests you, when the challenges seem insurmountable, you are forced to identify what truly matters. You no longer waste energy on trivial distractions, on petty conflicts, or on pursuits that do not serve your purpose. Your vision becomes clearer, your goals become sharper, and your determination becomes unshakable. Suffering removes the unnecessary and leaves you with only what is essential: the skills, the mindset, and the tenacity required to achieve your highest aspirations. And while suffering can feel isolating, it is also profoundly unifying. When you face adversity, you are connected to every human being who has struggled before you. Their stories, their resilience, their courage become beacons of inspiration. You realize that struggle is not a sign of weakness. It is a universal part of the human experience, and it is a rite of passage for anyone who wishes to achieve greatness. This perspective transforms suffering from something to fear into something to respect and even welcome, because it signals that you are on the path to something meaningful. Moreover, suffering cultivates creativity and innovation. When the old ways fail, when the easy solutions are no longer available, you are forced to think differently. You are pushed to innovate, to problem solve, and to find paths where none seem to exist. Struggle expands your capacity for imagination and strategic thinking. It pushes you to explore ideas, approaches, and solutions that would never have occurred to you if everything had come easily. Perhaps most importantly, suffering instills a sense of gratitude. When you endure hardship and emerge on the other side, you value your achievements in a deeper way. You understand the cost of success and the effort required to reach it. You are less likely to take victories for granted and more likely to approach life with appreciation, humility, and responsibility. Gratitude born from suffering strengthens relationships, fuels continued growth, and allows your success to have meaning beyond mere personal gain. The truth is, suffering is not an interruption to your journey. It is the journey. Every obstacle you face, every challenge that seems insurmountable, every setback that tests your resolve is an integral part of the process. The more you lean into it, the more you endure, the more you learn, the more capable, resilient, and wise you become. Those who succeed are not the ones who avoided struggle, they are the ones who embraced it, who learned from it, who allowed it to shape them into the people they needed to become to achieve their goals. When you finally reach the summit, when your vision is realized, when your dreams are no longer distant but tangible, you will look back and see that it was the suffering that made it possible. It was the pain, the failures, the rejections, the sleepless nights, the doubt, and the relentless effort that gave your success its value, depth, and permanence. Success without suffering is fragile and fleeting. Success forged through struggle is enduring, transformative, and extraordinary. So, when you encounter difficulty, when the road ahead seems impossible, remember this: every ounce of struggle, every moment of discomfort, every trial you endure is preparing you for the success you seek. It is refining your character, sharpening your mind, and building your resilience. Embrace it, lean into it, and allow it to transform you, because the truth is this: the depth of your suffering will determine the height of your success, and the trials you endure today will be foundation for the extraordinary life you are capable of creating.